The tip is won by St. Mary's. You are looking live inside Bill Greehey Arena for tonight's Heartland Conference matchup between the St. Mary's Rattlers and the visiting Lubbock Christian University Chaparrals. I'm Brian Maglione. Thank you for joining us here on this cold Thursday night here in San Antonio, Texas. Temperatures dropping, but they're on the rise inside as St. Mary's takes the 2-0 lead courtesy of a jumper from Isaiah Matthews. The drive to the basket, no good by Lucky, and Bolton off to the races. He tried to lob it up top to Matthews, but to no avail, and it'll be Chaparral ball. Brian Maglione here alongside Ruben Dominguez, and Ruben, St. Mary's one win away from clinching the Heartland Conference regular season title. What do you expect to see from them here tonight if they want to clinch the title?
Well, with a tournament hosting opportunity on the line for the Rattlers as that three is shot up and Marvin Witt gains the rebound with the chance of hosting the tournament, I think the Rattlers will come out tonight with a high tempo and see if they can implement their game on the Chaps here.
Kick out to Binney for three. Back rim, no good. Good rebound there by J.J. Bolton. And the Rattlers will regroup. Pass inside, last touch, and possession will stay with the St. Mary's Rattlers. Starting five for the Rattlers. Binney, Witt in the front court. And the front line consists of J.J. Bolton, Justin Alexander, and Isaiah Matthews. Witt for three, no good, and the rebound contained by Holman. Loose ball stolen by Bolton. And J.J. will bring it up court. Ruben, who are some of the players to look out for in this ball game?
Well, I think as we've seen starting lineups before at home for the Rattlers, that Isaiah Matthews is implemented into the starting lineup tonight, and I think that is a great decision by Coach Zelzenak, so we'll see how that plays out for them.
Foul is called on Witt. That is his first personal foul. First team foul of the ball game for either side. Fresh 35 on the shot clock for the Chaparrals. Good backdoor move and up and under. Beautiful finish by A.J. Lucky. Binney kicks it out to Witt. Down low to Matthews. Three-man game, Witt will unload. Alexander got bumped off the ball. And Matthews, good, strong move down low as Isaiah with the Rattlers 2 buckets of the ball game. He now has 4.
And we see early from the Rattlers that they're going down to Isaiah Matthews to look for their bunches of points as a foul is committed there by J.J. Bolton. But as we were saying, Isaiah Matthews will be a key tonight, I feel, for the Rattlers. And if he can get going, the Rattlers can really ride him and be successful tonight down low in the paint.
And at the line, shooting 2, Riddell Holman. Starting 5 for Lubbock Christian, A.J. Lucky, Marcus Arrington, Holman, who's at the line, Bo Durham, and Isaac Cardona. Rounding out the 5 as the free throw is good. Both are good, and the game is tied at 4. Binney now working the point. Gets it over to Bolton. Alexander, top of the key. Swings it over to Matthews. Isaiah pump fake. Soft touch off the backboard. And no good. Binney. Oh, good shovel pass to Alexander, who throws it down with authority.
Great awareness there by Binney to get the ball out of his hands and find Alexander for the big dunk.
Early goings here in the first half. Rattlers lead by 2. Arrington working on Binney. Swings it over to the left side. Oh, good hard move to the basket by the big guy, Isaac Cardona, and the game is all tied at 6 again. Rattlers looking for their 4th consecutive win. They're currently 9-2 here at home inside Bill Greehey Arena. They're 16-9 overall, and great ball movement by the Rattlers as Matthews is fouled. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
And Brian, we haven't seen this recently from the Rattlers, them going down low to Isaiah Matthews, but it seems to be working out tonight.
It really has. Matthews with 4, Alexander with the big dunk for the other 2 points. Game is tied at 6. We'll head to a quick commercial break, but stay tuned. More upcoming right after this. First free throw from Matthews is no good. 15:50 left to play. Is able to sink the second, 8-6 the score. Excuse me, the first free throw by Isaiah was good. Rattlers lead by 2. Lubbock Christian in possession. Struggling a bit with their spacing here. They have 9 on the shot clock. The 3 is launched from the left side, and it will go out of play. Arrington's shot off the mark. Checking into the ball game now for the Chaparrals is Marcos Schuster. Benny bringing the ball up court. And Ruben, you said inserting Isaiah Matthews into the starting lineup is something different that the Rattlers we haven't seen much of, as Benny gets it over to the before mentioned Matthews, who flips it up, no good. Isaiah, one of those high energy players. What are some things that he brings to the game for St. Mary's?
Well, first I will say that losing Christian Minor in the starting lineup does take a lot away from the tempo of the Rattlers, but Isaiah is one of those players that's good down low, and he can also shoot mid-range jumpers, so I think that will be key for him to find his hot hand and really feed the offensive prowess of the Rattlers.
Rattlers now in possession. They lead by 2. Matthews down low again. Kicks it out to Bolton, trying to repost down low, which he does. Matthews throws it up a bit off the backboard, and they're calling a backcourt violation as Witt tipped it back to Bolton in the backcourt, although they're contesting that he didn't have possession of the ball. Nonetheless, possession will change hands. Chaparrals with possession. Earlier today, we saw the Lady Rattlers defeat the Lady Chaps to clinch a berth in the Heartland Conference tournament. as ball is stolen and turned over. Here's Bolton bringing the ball up the court. JJ swings it over to Alexander. Took a hard dribble, then kicks it back out to JJ. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Second and third chance opportunity. No good for Isaiah. He's had a couple easy ones down low, but just a bit off. And the foul on Justin Alexander as Cardona able to flip it home for the bucket. And now he'll head to the line with a chance for the three-point play.
And that's what can happen there, Brian. Missing easy baskets down low lead to transition, and this LCU team is deadly in the fast break.
Cardona able to complete the three-point opportunity. And now we see Joe Monroe coming off the bench. Monroe, another of those high-energy players coming off the bench. He provides a lot for this Rattlers squad.
It'll be interesting to see the combination of Monroe and Matthews down low together. We don't see it very often, so we'll see what these two can provide for the team here.
Bolton short on the jumper, and now pushing the tempo now is Arrington. Arrington, good diamond. Oh, a hard fall to the floor. Although he does look all right. AJ Lucky was parallel to the floor when he fell, and fortunate not to be hurt. Looks like the officials are checking with the replay. A couple players at the scores table as the players are directed back to their benches as a media review, or a play review, excuse me, is called upon. And we'll take this time out to remind all of you to check us out on social media. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/St. Mary's Rattlers. You could also follow us on Twitter at St. Mary's Rattlers. You can also find us on Instagram under the same handle at St. Mary's Rattlers. Be sure to use the hashtag FangsOut and keep up to date with all things St. Mary's sports. Ruben, we're coming off a big week of sports here at St. Mary's University. Less than a week ago, we were covering the Rattler Softball Invitational. And on Monday and Tuesday, just down the highway over at the Dominion Golf Course, men's golf took home third place in the team competition. Just an overall fun week here at St. Mary's. What so far has been the highlight for you, Ruben, with all things that have been going on?
Well, I don't really think you can pick out one certain thing as Witt puts up that three, and it's good. Excuse me, Christian Miner onto the floor. And I don't really think you can put any team above another. We've had some great accomplishments this week, and I feel that if all the teams stay focused, they can really cement their place as a powerhouse in the Heartland Conference in any sport that we play.
Men's baseball victorious in their doubleheader earlier today as that three is launched, no good. Rebound by Witt. I would have to say my favorite part of this week so far would have to be as Miner launches another three, this time off the mark. I would have to say the Rattler Invitational was a lot of fun, a great atmosphere, great time as it is always. We've hosted our fair share of tournaments over the years, and this one did not disappoint. Game is tied at 11. We will head to a timeout with 11:49 left to play in the first half. You're watching Rattler basketball on the Rattler Network. 11:49 left to play in this one. Both teams tied at 11. Brian Maglio on alongside Ruben Dominguez. Thank you for joining us here in the Alamo City. Temperatures beginning to drop. Snow scheduled to fall tomorrow night. Well, tomorrow, something we rarely see in this part of the country. Ruben, are you geared up for the upcoming weather, so to speak?
Well, considering a couple of days ago it was 70 degrees.
As the offensive foul is drawn by Ryan Thomas, able to beat his man to the spot.
But as I was saying, 70 degrees the other day, I might have to go get my jackets out of storage. I wasn't expecting this.
Well, you could go get your jacket out of storage, or you could check out RattlerGear.com, where you can find all your fine Rattler merchandise. And just in time for this cold weather, we have a special going on where you could get 10% off of all your sweaters and hoodies on RattlerGear.com. But hurry over, because the deal is a limited time only, so check it out on RattlerGear.com. As we resume action, Benny at the top gets it over to the newly checked in Bryce Smith. Ryan Thomas over to Miner, and Benny floating into the air, gets knocked down. No foul is called as the Chaparrals look to push it. Crossover dribble. Now the ball being swung around. Schuster, oh, a tough move and a finish by Schuster, the freshman from Lubbock, Texas, as he puts his team in the lead by 2. Hand check is called. It'll be against Arrington. Benny to check the ball in. They'll get it back. Rattlers have a fresh shot clock to work with. Miner now, thought about it. Benny over to Smith now.
And with the Rattler substitutions, Bryce Smith comes into the game. We all know Bryce Smith as a pure shooter. We'll see if the Rattlers look to get him the ball and see if he can find an open look.
And the before mentioned Smith handling the ball, gets it over to Marvin Benny, 10 on the shot clock. Miner already has a three-pointer to his name in this ball game. Rattlers running out of time here in this possession. Miner will have to force it up. The three, back rim no good. And the Chaparrals come away with possession. And several times during that possession for St. Mary's, as the three is launched, no good. The Rattlers were trying to feed it down low to Joe Monroe, but to no avail. Good ball denial by the Chaparrals, denying the entry pass. And Ruben, such a key part of this Rattler offense is getting that pass down low to their bigs. Lubbock Christian making it difficult, as Bryce Smith making you look real good right now, able to hit that three.
And that's what I was saying, that if Bryce Smith gets the ball on the outside, you can almost guarantee that he'll let it fly. And there he gets 3 points on the board and a lead for the Rattlers.
Lucky now with the ball, swings it over to the right side. Good ball denial down low by Monroe. 13 left on the shot clock for the Chaparrals. The floater no good, and Monroe skies for the board. Benny working the dribble, in and out dribble, nearly lost it. He'll reset, gets it over to Smith. Monroe, double team down low, try the shovel pass to Thomas. Last touch by the Chaps. Benny will trigger the inbound. St. Mary's leading by 1. As we look at the Heartland Conference standings, although Lubbock Christian is a provisional school, thus not eligible for postseason play, they could still win the regular season title. As Smith nearly loses it. Thomas now gets it back to Smith for 3. Back rim, no good. Rebound secured by Holman. Lubbock Christian with a victory here could tie the Rattlers in the Heartland Conference standings. St. Mary's so far with sole possession of first place. A victory here would clinch them the Heartland Conference title, as, Ryan Thomas able to take that board away from Cardona.
And something interesting we see here, Brian, with the 5 Rattlers on the floor, there is not a pure ball handler, but Bryce Smith will assume those duties as the ball is given away there by Thomas.
Cardona swings it over to the left side. Referees let that one go as Schuster able to knock down that mid-range jumper. Referees really letting these boys play. A couple potential blocking or charging fouls have gone uncalled as Monroe, expanding his range a bit, misses. And the Chaparrals coming up the court. Good backdoor pass. And the finish there by Holman. 17-14 the score now. Minor gets it over to Thomas. Thomas at the top of the key gets it over to Monroe. Rattlers swinging the ball around. Thomas over to Minor, 10 on the clock. Minor step back, free throw line jumper, no good. Scramble for the ball and Minor ends up with it. And folks, for all you young basketball players out there, that's what you're supposed to do. Follow your own shot. Minor able to come away with the board, give his team a second chance. Monroe thought about the pass, cross court, over to Smith. Smith to Pierce, back to Smith. Down low to Thomas. Ryan doubled, crossover to Monroe. Smith will launch a 3. That's good.
Great 3 there by Smith, and he is really heating up for the Rattlers here.
Lubbock Christian now with possession. Hard drive to the hoop by Schuster. He floats one up and good. Just like that, Lubbock Christian able to regain the edge. We're approaching 5 minutes left to play here in the first half. Cam Pierce feeds it down low to Thomas. And whenever one of the Rattler bigs gets the ball, they get doubled as Minor's 3 is no good. Last touch by Thomas. 5:03 left to play. Immediate timeout on the floor. Rattlers trail by 2. And we are now joined by Joey Baseball, but for this ball game, we will refer to him as Joey Basketball. Joe, you've been down on the floor for most of this first half. What have you seen from both teams that have really stood out to you?
Well, the main thing that stood out to me on the floor is just how familiar these two teams are with one another. You hear the Rattlers call a play, Lubbock Christian, they call it back as if they know it. On the other end, same thing. So these two conference foes, very well prepared for one another. It might have been why we saw a slow start out of the gates, but you can just tell that they are very well prepared and they know what they are doing out there against one another today.
And Joe, as we see the Chaps leading 19-17 with 5 minutes remaining, what can the Rattlers do now to reestablish their lead right before halftime?
Well, I'd like to see the guards step up and play a little bit better. The St. Mary's guards didn't have any points on the board until 7 minutes and 30 seconds into this game. That's something that they're going to need to improve on, play with a little bit more fire in their belly. But By the way, guys, one last point. Isaiah Matthews, I like him being in the starting lineup. I feel like he brings a certain tenacity and size, and he was big here at the start as he had 6 quick points here for the Rattlers.
And Joe, one last question. Rattlers 1 win away from clinching the Heartland Conference regular season title. Do you think that's weighing at all on their minds right now?
I don't think so. This Rattler team, they're mentally, from what I've heard, they're very much into these kinds of games. Even in the middle of the season, talking with their guard, Marvin Benny, he said that they relish the opportunities to play in these types of games. And I think having to play so many games like this throughout the season has prepared them for this moment.
Well, thank you, Joe, for your insight. Good stuff. We'll talk to you later. As Lubbock Christian, they turn the ball over, and the Rattlers regain possession with 4:40 left to play in the half. And Ruben, Joe made up a great point that both teams, the familiarity with each other really showing up here in the first half. Just the way that Lubbock Christian has attacked the Rattlers on the defensive end, denying that entry pass down low.
And Joe makes a great point there, and I think that is why we may have seen the lineup change that we have from the Rattlers. In the first game between these two foes, the same starting lineups didn't play, so obviously there are some adjustments made by both coaches.
Oh, what a move there by Cardona, Isaac Cardona, showing the footwork here as he was able to get to the basket for the deuce. 21-17, Matthews double teamed down low. Smith for 3, he is fouled, and he will head to the line for 3 free throws. And that foul was not appreciated much by the contingency here from Lubbock, Texas. With 3:52 remaining here in the first, Rattlers trail by 4. There's still plenty more basketball left to be played right here on the Rattler Network. Bryce Smith at the line as we return from break. Smith was fouled behind the three-point line as he sinks the first free throw of 3. Brian Maglione alongside soccer aficionado Ruben Dominguez. Ruben, you're pretty well equipped with basketball as well. That's why we have you here too. Smith sinking all 3 free throws as the Rattlers come out in a press. A look we don't see often from the Rattlers as Lubbock Christian quick to call the timeout. Todd Duncan, I believe no relation to Tim Duncan, calls the 30-second timeout as the Rattlers came out with vengeance off that made free throw. Ruben, Rattlers have one more game here at home. This Saturday, it is against Oklahoma Panhandle State. Gearing towards tournament play. The Rattlers have already clinched a spot in the tournament. As we get set for tournament play, how are these Rattlers looking to you?
Well, I feel that after a long road trip, it's always going to be a bit re-energizing to come back to your home court. And I think they've done a really good job here to stay in this game with the tough Chaps team, as the basket is made there from Lucky. But as I was saying, I think they've done a good job to come in here and keep the game close. And who knows, with Biddy's three, and that's no good. But hopefully they can implement themselves into this game and get a good result going into the tournament.
Chaparrals lead 23-20. The ball into the corner now, and Alford. The shot drops home for Riddell Holman. And the Chaps push their lead to 5. They're approaching 2.5 left to play. Smith getting a pick from Isaiah. Bryce, a head fake, gets it over to Binney. Alexander immediately doubled, kicks it back out to Smith for 3. Front iron, no good, bouncing around, and the rebound secured there by Durham. Lucky swings it over to the right side, and Alford. He's trapped down low, looking for an open teammate. He gets it over to Durham. Lucky with possession now. Met by Binney. Alexander able to draw the offensive foul. Alford bumped into Justin, who was able to draw the foul. And the Rattlers will regain possession. 2-minute warning here. And as we saw in the first game, basketball a game of runs. In the first game, the Lady Rattlers would go out and get out to an impressive lead, but the Lady Chaparrals were able to come back and cut into the deficit as Binney nearly comes up with the steal. The floater is back tapped and into the hands of Alford. Fresh shot clock for the Chaps, and what a smooth move to the hoop by Schuster, as the Chaps up by 7.
And the friendship product there, slicing and dicing his way to the basket, and he gives the Chaps a 7-point lead.
Isaiah Matthews showing the range, able to stop the bleeding momentarily, as the Rattlers able to get on the board with less than a minute to play. Schuster swings it over to Cardona. Dribble handoff, double team. Lucky now with the ball. Lucky doubled at the top. Cardona will unleash a 3. That one hits nothing but the bottom. And that pushes Lubbock Christian's advantage to 8.
And the Rattlers have not found an answer for Isaac Cardona, and he is having a big night tonight.
About a second differential between game and shot clock. Matthews, 2 in a row from mid-range.
And the big man showing his versatility there. 2 back-to-back mid-range jumpers. And that's what we were talking about earlier. Isaiah Matthews can get hot, and the Rattlers will look to feed him for the remainder of this half.
And that'll do it for the first half, as St. Mary's trails Lubbock Christian 30-24. Leading the Rattlers in scoring is the before-mentioned Isaiah Matthews. Isaiah with 10 points to go along with 4 rebounds, as he got the starting nod here this afternoon. Bryce Smith coming off the bench. He is 2 of 4 from behind the 3-point line, and he has 9 points. We head to the half. Lubbock Christian 30, St. Mary's 24. You're watching Heartland Conference basketball on the Rattler Network. Second half underway here at Bill Greehey Arena. St. Mary's trails the visiting Chaparrals 30-24 as Isaiah Matthews takes a shot. He's fouled on his move to the basket. He'll head to the line to shoot two. Brian Magliuan sitting next to one and only Ruben Dominguez. Ruben, first half, both teams seem to know each other pretty well. Chaparrals were able to pull away with a 6-point advantage as Matthews able to hit the first. What do you expect to see from either side heading into the second half?
Well, we saw a highly contested first couple of minutes in the first half, and we see the Chaps pull away at the end of the first half. So hopefully now we'll have much of the same here and see if the Rattlers can get back in the game, but maybe see if they can pull away at the end. Don't you think, Brian?
Oh, indeed, as Cardona able to come away with a loose ball. Lucky driving inside, and he throws it up, but is called for the offensive foul. Isaiah Matthews there to draw the foul.
And he's just doing it on both ends of the court, isn't he?
Isaiah having an outstanding game. His efficiency rating is an 8.0, which is highest on this Rattler squad here tonight. Bolton with the ball at the top of the key, gets it over to Benny, down low to Isaiah. Isaiah decides to spot up off the front iron, no good. And Lubbock Christian will regroup with Arrington handling the ball. Ball over to the right side. 11 on the shot clock for Cardona. Cardona momentarily doubled and able to squeeze the shot right by Justin Alexander down low. What a move by Cardona, who continues his hot streak.
And the man in blue with 34 on his back is very dangerous. The Rattlers are going to have to watch out for him.
Matthews skying for the board. Cardona and Matthews exchanging buckets here. Lucky nearly loses it, floats it up, and good. Fast-paced action to start the second half. Marvin Witt had a quiet first half. Bolton over to Alexander. Alexander, excuse me, with a nice baby hook. Rattlers in their full court press. Cardona pushes it up to Lucky. Lucky, he gets denied by Alexander. And now the Rattlers on the run. Witt in and out dribble. Gets it to Matthews, who finishes with the lay-in.
A great play there by Witt. Saying he had a quiet first half, but it's plays like that that will get him better looks in the second as the Chaps answer right back.
Durham with a nice finish over the outstretched arm of Justin Alexander. Joe Monroe set to check in following the next dead ball. Alexander over to Bolton now. Matthews. Alexander the alley-oop as Bolton connects with Justin. A highlight play by the Rattlers as both teams trading haymakers.
And we saw the combo of those two try it in the first half on only the second play of the game, but there it works out for them, and now they cut the lead down to 2.
Cardona, second chance opportunity is good, but an offensive foul is called. I believe it'll be called on Lucky. Rather, that foul is called on Isaiah Matthews, and Cardona will head to the line with a chance to complete the three-point play. Crazy sequence of events. High energy play from both teams. And Cardona looking to complete the three-point play, which he's unable to. Bolton with the board over to Binney.
It's the first miss I've really seen from Cardona that's been notable.
And Binney called for the offensive foul. According to the official, pushed off his defender, and possession will go back to the Chaparrals.
And Brian, it's strange to see on the scoreboard number 20 and number 15 with a combined 0 points. It's not often that we see that from the guard combo of Marvin Witt and Marvin Binney.
The Marvin connection. A bit quiet tonight as Monroe able to pick the pocket of Cardona. Bolton over to Matthews. Isaiah. And Isaiah will be called for the offensive foul.
Unfortunate there for Matthews, as he is charged with the offensive foul.
Next dead ball will result in our first media timeout. We're under 16 minutes left to play. Arrington working the left side. Arrington drives hard to the basket. Ball over to Lucky now. Arrington. .15 on the shot clock. Lucky down low working on Witt. Active hands from the Rattlers. 3 gold jerseys and 1 blue jersey. Scramble for the ball, and a jump ball is called. Good, tenacious play from Marvin Binney. Possession will stay right here, but timeout on the floor. 15:30 left to play. Rattlers trail by 4.